you always have bad feelings all the time. That's why the Buddha stressed that the two actions that I mentioned early on, to do good things and to avoid doing bad things. But you also have to get rid of the three defilements, namely the greed, hate, and delusion, because they are the root cause of our bad actions. You might not think so, but when you wanted something, if you could afford to get it legally or morally, then it's okay. But if you cannot afford and you still want what you want, you might have to go steal or rob a bank so you can get the money to buy the things you want or to do the things you want to do. And this is because you have greed, you have desire, you want to do this and that, but really you don't have to do anything you can be happy. Just sitting still, you can be happy. But the reason why we cannot sit still is because of our greed. Our greed keeps on pushing us to go and acquire things, acquire this and that. And when we go acquiring things, we tend to go into a lot of troubles. We have to compete with other people, and we might have to do things not proper or not right or not legal. Then it gets us into trouble. But if we can overcome our greed, our desire to have this and have that, to do this or do that, then we can just stay at home and be safe and sound. So these are the root cause of all our problems, are the greed, hate, and delusion. When you want something and someone stops you from getting it, you get mad at that person. You get angry, and you want to do something bad to that person. And the reason why we become greedy is because of delusion. Delusion means that we don't know where true happiness is, where the real happiness is. Our delusion always tells us that there's always something better on the other side of the fence. The grass is always greener on the other side. But in truth, there's nothing good at all or that can really bring us true happiness. Everything external really are the source of our troubles and unhappiness, anxiety and worries. Because everything in the world changes. They don't remain the same. You get something good, then in a few days' time, this thing will turn sour or gone bad. Then you have to look for something else. It applies to everything, human, living things, or inanimate things, like material things. The Buddha said they are impermanent, and they are the cause of our mental stress, anxiety, and worry. If we want to have a peaceful, calm life, then we have to relinquish or not rely on these things. This is what we call wisdom. We have to be able to tell ourselves that everything in the world is not worth the effort. It's better just to live without them. But it's hard to do because your delusion and your greed keep pushing you. And you cannot stay at home and not doing anything. You feel terrible. You feel bored and you feel isolated and you feel unhappy. But these feelings could be overcome by the practice that the Buddha prescribed for all Buddhists, namely these three actions: do good, avoiding doing evil, and eliminate the three defilements, which I can explain briefly. Doing good means like giving things to other people, helping other people, while avoiding doing bad things means not hurting other people, like abstaining from the 5 precepts, and elimination of the defilements of greed, hate, and delusion. We need to do the meditation practice. We have to sit down and concentrate our mind on one particular mental object. Maybe your breathing, for instance. Just focus on that object and try and avoid the mind from thinking about anything. Just concentrating on your breathing. When you're breathing, just be mindful that you are breathing in. When you're breathing out, be mindful of that. Watch your mind. Don't let it go think about other things. If you can persist in keeping your mind focused on your breathing, sooner or later your mind will converge and drop into calm, like a golf ball that you hit into a hole. Once the mind or the golf ball falls into the hole, it cannot move around. The same way, once the mind converges into what we call one-pointedness, then the mind will rest and become at peace with itself. At that stage, you will experience the spiritual kind sense of well-being, calm, contentment. If you can experience it just once, then you know the answer to life. This is the answer. This is what we are looking for. It's the Holy Grail in Buddhism. Okay?
Long Paul, for those who have sinned, can they be redeemed?
No, sin, once you commit it, you have to brace for the result that will come. But they could come, you cannot tell when they would happen. Maybe it never happened in this lifetime. Maybe it will follow you to your next lifetime. But the immediate results of sin is just like I mentioned earlier on. You feel bad. If you commit a crime, you will be afflicted with worries and anxiety. You're afraid when you look at a cop or someone, you're afraid that they might know what you might have done. This is already the result of your sin. You cannot absorb the sin, you cannot wash it.
Is there really hell or heaven after life?
Hell and heaven is already here in this life and also in our later life. When we feel good after having done something good, this is heaven already. It's all in the mind. When we do something bad and we feel bad, this is already hell in this life. But in Buddhism, this heaven and hell also exist after we die. It depends on how much we have done. Both